Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Have At It. My name is Ben Cornett, and welcome. Tonight, we are back. Last week, I took a little break, had stuff going on, but I'm here this week. This week is just a Have At It. As you know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a bye week, so we will talk more. We could still talk about some Bucks tonight, no doubt about it. Let's have at it. We can talk about anything, but this is just a regular Have At It. So how's everybody doing on a Friday night? I'm doing good. If you'll see in the background, I kind of created a new background to this show. It's just the city of downtown Las Vegas, my hometown. Um, and by the way, you could follow me on the social media handles to my right uh, at X BennyBoy702, YouTube, where you're watching this show right now, Ben Cornett 9015. And if you're watching on Facebook, it's in the Ben Zone. Also, I have an Instagram. Yes, I have one of those. If you like taking pictures and stuff, that's what it is. It's Ben702 forever. So yeah, like, subscribe, and follow those social media platforms. I would greatly appreciate that. So, what is going on, man? It's been quite a week. Let's talk about last night. Didn't see that coming. I think we all pretty much picked the Commanders, right? I mean, you thought, oh, hey, you know, they're a better team than the Bears. The Bears struggling, blew a big lead against Denver. Well, going into that game, the Bears were like, you know what? Like, okay, everybody's counting us out. Okay, let's show them. Came out and played great. The first half, you thought, okay, well, but you had a little doubt. Maybe it's like we saw it last week with Denver. They had a big lead, then defense couldn't hang on. Well, fast forward to the second half of last night's game, Commanders scored some points, kind of got back in it, and then it was like, I believe it was 30-20. Joey Sly he kicked a field goal, but he missed it. It could have got him within one possession. And then the next drive, DJ Moore gets another touchdown. That ends the game. And the final score was 40-20. My takeaways from that game was that the Bears showed up. The Commanders did not. And listen, Justin Fields played pretty good. Looked like he had better control of his accuracy with the football, made better decisions. I thought the OC, is it Getsy? Getsy is his name, I guess. Changed it up nicely. They mixed up the run with some pass, little play action here and there, and it worked. The offensive line for the Bears, they did allow a sack or two, but for the most part, they played pretty well. They were able to contain that front of the Washington Commanders and pretty much dominated the trenches most of the night. Sam Howell on the other side, not so much. Yeah, he had a nice little second half, got the team back in it. But for the most part, the Bears just were able to, put a lot of pressure on him, got a few sacks on him, took him out of his rhythm and stuff. And for the life of me, I don't understand why the Commanders really didn't run the ball much in this game. They should have. You got a capable running back in Robinson who can get you some yards. And it surprises me that they didn't use him more often. Now I understand they couldn't use much of him in the second half because you were trailing. You're trailing by 2 scores. And actually it was 3 scores. So you had to, pass the ball more. But still, if they would have implemented the run more, I think they could have, made this game a lot closer than it was. But unfortunately, they didn't. And the Bears were the better team last night. They were able to implement the run. Khalil Herbert had a pretty solid game on the ground. DJ Moore, I mean, for anybody that had him in fantasy last night, you obviously scored a lot of points. He had a great night. So it was good to see DJ Moore get himself back into things offensively for the Bears. And this is a good win for the Bears, actually, at least morally too, because, when you blow a lead like that, few days earlier against Denver, who's, by the way, a very poor team as well. You know, it depends. It could, which players were going to show up. You know, was this whole team going to show up? And you know, how's this going to affect them? And guess what? Apparently, it didn't. Apparently, they said, you know, it's fuck it. We're going out there. It's us against the world. Let's show them that, you know, hey, we can win this game and we can get back into things. You know, that's what they did. And it was their best game of the year. I'm not going to go as far to say as you know, Justin Fields, okay, this is he's coming back to life. He's going to show everybody that he can play in this league. I'm not going to go that far yet, because the one thing we have to see is consistency. You know, we need to see this the next game against Minnesota a week from Sunday. We need to see it the following week against the Raiders. You know, we need to see Justin Fields have more consistency. Do it for, you know, 4 or 5 straight games. Show us that you can, you know, give us 300 yards. Give us a couple touchdowns a game. Don't turn the ball over. You know, move the chains. Extend drives. Close out games. Then I'll say, okay, all right. You know, maybe we got something here. Because let's remember, this is only Justin Fields' 6th NFL win as a quarterback. 6. So, you know, and not all his fault. Again, the team's not done him a lot of favors. But at the end of the day, you know, it takes 2 to tango. And, you know, the Bears could definitely, you know, be better offensively, give him a better offensive game plan. Justin Fields can also help his team out by taking care of the football better, doing a better job of reading defenses, and, you know, extending drives. So it takes 2 to tango. And, you know, I think we all want to root for him, obviously. You know, we don't want to see anybody fail. And, you know, hopefully Justin can improve on this. And also the Bears coaching staff, they can try and, you know, keep doing a better job of implementing this kind of offense and, you know, helping your quarterback out. At the same time, your offensive line has to help your quarterback. It has to help your run game. You know, it's vital. The trenches are vital. I always say it starts up front. And if you can have a good offensive line, protect the quarterback, create holes for the running back, well, you're going to have a chance in every game. So, and the Bears showed last night that they can do it. Now, can they do it consistently? We have to wait and see. We have to wait and see. So, and oh crap, we got a lot of comments here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin. Let's see. Scott Thaler first. Thank you, Scott, for tuning in. How you doing tonight? Scott says, "Go Mizzou." Yeah. Tomorrow they got a big game, don't they? Who do they play, Scott? If you want to put it in the comment, they do have a big game. It's at home in Missouri, and they're doing pretty good so far, man. Undefeated. My Rams are going to beat the Eagles, says Scott Thaler. You know what? That's possible. It's very possible. I think that's going to be, you know, everybody keeps saying the 49ers and Cowboys is the game of the week, and rightfully so. It's 2 very good teams. But, you know, let's not forget that we got the Eagles at the Rams. You know, Eagles are undefeated, but, you know, maybe they haven't played their I shouldn't say maybe. I don't think they've played their best football. And the Rams, 2-2. Panicku, Cooper Kupp's supposed to be back. Kyren Williams, if he can run the ball well against the Eagles, they got a chance. They do have a chance to maybe pull off the upset. So it should be a good game. I can't wait to see it. You know, the Rams are capable of doing it. You know, they played the Niners pretty tough. You know, and it's a division game. I get that. But it shows you that, you know, the Rams can definitely hang in there. The question will be, can they dominate the offensive lines? You know, the trenches. Can they dominate the trenches? It's going to be tough against a very good Eagles team that pretty much dominates the trenches every single week. But that doesn't mean that, the Eagles or Rams can, win or lose that game. It just, we'll see what happens. But it should be a very good game, though. Luckily we're getting the game here in Vegas. They're showing that game locally, so I'm very happy about that. That's a game I do want to see, along with the Niners and the Cowboys. So yeah. Sean Spencer Ben is talking about your team. Oh, okay. Good stuff there. Speaking of Sean Spencer, great win for Chicago. Yeah, it was a very good win for him, Sean. I know it came at the hands of the Commanders, but, it's one of those things, and it's like you were saying last night on the NFL edition. By the way, every Thursday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, me, Alex Lismore, Johnny Dean, check that out. You said it last night on the show, like the mobile quarterbacks have given you problems, and it did. It pretty much did. And what can I say about the Commanders right now? Defensively, they're supposed to be a lot better than this, than what they're showing. Your secondary is the weak spot. Chase Young, Montez Sweat played solid games. But at the end of the day, though, that secondary was getting torched. And I believe, Sean, you said Emmanuel Forbes, your rookie cornerback, got pulled from the game because he was just getting outplayed by DJ Moore all night. That's tough. That's tough for a rookie. Whenever you get benched like that, we got to see how Emmanuel takes that, because for a rookie, confidence is everything. And when he was getting outplayed, he was just being used all night. We got to see how he responds. Young players, they can get emotional. And now I don't know Emmanuel Forbes personally. You know a lot better than I do, Sean. It's going to be how he handles it. How does he get better from this? Hopefully the benching doesn't affect him mentally. Because again, you invested in this guy. You needed, help in the secondary. Let's see what he can do. Coming up, I believe you got Atlanta next. You got Drake London, Kyle Pitts. So hopefully he can learn from this and start playing better, because you're going to need him, especially if you guys are going to, try and make a run this year, try to get to the playoffs. He's got to come right into the fire, right out of the frying pan into the fire. Let's see what he can do. And the rest of the defense, let's see what happened, because it was pretty embarrassing. That's what, 2 losses at home now. You lost to Buffalo big time. I'm not trying to rub it in, Sean. I'm just saying, if you had some lopsided losses at home, and that's home field is supposed to be your advantage. Even Magic Johnson said, "Hey, you know what? This team didn't have fire." And I actually forgot to ask you that, Sean, last night. Did you agree with Magic's comments? This team didn't play with any fire, any passion. That's hard to say. I think to an extent, maybe they didn't, but I thought the Bears just outplayed them. Sometimes teams just outplay you. Not so much that you don't have the desire or the fire, the extra effort to go out there. Maybe the Bears just had it more. They just wanted it that much more. And, sometimes certain teams just play better on that night. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. We see a lot of upsets. We've already seen some upsets this year. So, who knows? But I'm interested to hear if you agree with Magic's comments. I'm kind of leaning toward I kind of disagree. I just think your whole team was outplayed by a Bears team that was desperate, trying to get that first win. You don't want to be where Carolina is at right now. I think Carolina is the only winless team. So the Bears got off this night, and it was a must-win for the Bears. The Commanders are 2-2, or now they're 2-3. So you got 2 wins in the bag. There's still a long season to go. So, the Bears, I think, just wanted it more, in my opinion. That's just me. So let's see here. Sean says, I was more worried if they lost last night, not just for the team, but for their fans. Well, yeah, listen, bro, that's what I said earlier. This is supposed to be your home field. You got new ownership there. Todd Harris, or Josh Harris there. Magic Johnson was there. The crowd was really into it last night. I mean, at least for some of the game, and then the Bears just pretty much took it out of the crowd, took the air out of it. So, it's a new beginning. Again, this is you're 2-3. It's not the end of the world, but I will say that when you lost your last 2 games, I think by combined 50 points, that's tough. That's very disappointing, especially when you have new ownership there, trying to really bring this franchise back to not only relevancy, but also trying to bring them back to the upper echelon of the NFC. Performances like that, that's going to drain on a fan anytime. It can be discouraging. So you do have to give the fans a reason to be more encouraged. And we're going to get to it in a minute. And I'll tell you about the whole Evan Neal, comments about how he's been booed by Giants fans, stuff like that. But you do have to give the fans a reason to be more invested in you. And right now, these last 2 home games, that's really tough. It's going to discourage a fan base, and that's the last thing you want. So Sean says you have to give him credit for his last 2 starts. He's played legit with the team he's got. I give him credit for this game. And the reason why I give him Justin Fields, I assume that's who you're talking about. The reason I give him credit for this game is because he didn't turn the ball over. And he played good enough in the second half to, close out the game. The game against Denver, yes, the defense was a big part of the reason why they lost. They collapsed. But also, in that game against Denver, Justin Fields, in the second half, fourth quarter, had a fumble, and then he threw an interception late. Those are things you can't do. You have to play good for a whole 60 minutes. And yes, he played great last week in the first half, but in the second half, not so much. This week, yes, we give him credit. I give him credit. He played 4 quarters really good, didn't turn the ball over, and that's why they were able to win this game. So, again, I'm not going to all of a sudden say, yay, Justin Fields is back. It's consistency. We need to see more of it. No turnovers. Play consistent football. Move the chains offensively. Time of possession. Make sure that you give your defense a reason to close out games. Don't have your defense out on the field so long. And for your offense and the coaches too, they have to make sure they can implement, Justin Fields' style to their offensive schemes. So again, it works both ways. All right. Well, I got to tell you right now, trying to share this show here, so having a little trouble doing that. Let me share this to some more groups. All right. Just one sec, guys. This is live, by the way. All right. There we go. Now I've shared. Sharing's coming. All right. But yeah, no, I give Justin Fields credit last night, Sean Spencer. Definitely. No doubt about it. Sean also says, especially how he looked at the start of the season, we can at least say he seems to be trending. Yeah, and last night was the trajectory was trending upwards. No doubt about it. Give credit where credit's due. Definitely, definitely. Sean Spencer says Nathan Snell, and also Sean says, can he get an offensive line outside of Tevin Jenkins? Yeah. Again, and you got a rookie in Darnell Wright who he's had some problems early. So you know the offensive line's so hard. Now I will say I've never played football, but I've watched football for the last 25 years. I'm kind of a late bloomer when it comes to the football, but I know enough to where a rookie offensive lineman is just not going to get it right away. It takes time to develop, and it is a young line, but they do have to play better. And you know, the NFL makes you grow up quick. So hopefully for Darnell Wright, he can, you know, develop, keep improving. Um, and then that'll just make Justin Fields that much better. He won't have to worry about trying to extend plays or try to make those plays that aren't there, you know. So hopefully the rest of that line can step it up and help Justin Fields out. No doubt about it. Create that running game. That's a quarterback's best friend is a dominating offensive line. Just ask Jalen Hurts. You know, just ask Troy Aikman when the Cowboys had the Great Wall of Dallas. So yeah, it's so vital. Um, Scott Thaler says Sean Spencer, Ben doesn't give the Rams a chance to win Sunday. I didn't say that, Scott. I said I think they do have a chance. Yes, I picked Philly to win, but that doesn't mean that the Rams don't have a chance. They're 2-2 for a reason. They're playing good football. Um, you know, tough start against Seattle opening day, but Seattle's a good team. They're 3-1. Cincinnati, that's a game you probably should have won. Had your offensive line um, protected Matt Stafford more, given more time in the pocket. Rams could be 3-1 or 4-0. So they have a chance. They definitely have a chance, Scott. And Sean Spencer says his coaching staff needs to play to his strengths. Yeah, no, I agree. They got to help him out. It's not just Justin Fields. I would say maybe half of it is, but the coaching needs to definitely improve. The offensive line needs to play better. And then if that happens, then you know what? The Bears can definitely try to start getting back into the season, making a nice run because you look at their schedule, they're at they're at home against the Vikings, which they've been struggling. Probably a better team than what they've shown, but they're struggling. The Raiders, they're not playing good football. They're struggling. They're a mess. Those are two games right there that are winnable, and you go from 0-4 to 3-4, and then all of a sudden now, you're back in it. You can get back in it really quick. So it's not the end of the world yet for the Bears. They just have to play consistent. On both sides of the ball. So, yeah. What was I talking about here? Oh yeah, Evan Neal, the Giants tackle. Boy, he made quite a name for himself this week. He, is telling fans, ripping on him, saying like, he doesn't care what they think. He doesn't. Lion doesn't, care about the opinions about sheep, something like whatever that saying is. And flipping the fans. Let me pull this up real quick. I'm gonna pull up the Evan Neal comments here, and I'll tell you exactly what he said. So, this is right after the game. They're interviewing him. They lost big time to Seattle. He's saying like they were booing us, so I said boo louder. And then here he said on Wednesday, he said right here, quote, "Why would a lion concern himself with the opinion of a sheep?" He added, "The person that's commenting on my performance, what does he do? Flip hot dogs and hamburgers somewhere else." Okay. First of all, Evan, Neil, you know what market you're in? Now, in any market, to me, that's unacceptable. You can't, you know, make comments like that about the fans. But when you're in the number one media market in the country, the USA, New York City, even though you're playing in New Jersey, dude, you're just asking for it. They will eat you alive. And I listen to a lot of New York media podcasts. They're giving it to them big time. You do not want to piss off that fan base because, man, they will beat you up verbally. New York is a very tough market. Those fans are passionate. They love their Giants. They love their Jets, their Yankees, their New York Knicks, their New York Mets, their Brooklyn Nets, their Islanders, their Rangers. They love their teams and they care. Now, again, I'm not a New Yorker. I'm not from New York, but I watch a lot of media, New York media. I got friends that are from that area. They do not like when you talk about them. You talk about them, man, they are going to rip your ass, rip you a new a-hole. All right? And Evan, why don't you just play better? How about that? How about shut up and play better? Protect your quarterback, Daniel Jones. You know, that's your job. Protect your quarterback. I'm going to tell you this. You think it was bad against Seattle? You wait till when you got to play the Miami Dolphins, who are coming off a humiliating loss up in Buffalo. Speaking of New York. Yeah, they're going to be ready to play. And also, you're missing Andrew Thomas. And I just found out he's not going to play this weekend. You're probably not going to have Saquon Barkley. You're not going to have John Michael Smith. So the Giants are, depleted on their offensive line. So, Evan, this is going to be a long day for you. You better protect him, or else you're going to definitely hear it from the Giants fan base. They're going to rip you another a-hole, man. And I can tell you right now, the Dolphins, they're going to whip that ass this weekend. They're going to put it on you, especially coming off a loss against Buffalo, their division rival. Ooh, man, they're going to be ready to play. They're going to get that bad taste out of their mouth. And here's the thing. I feel bad for Daniel Jones. And I'm not saying he's great. He's not. But it's just kind of like Justin Fields. Like, dude, where's the offensive line? Now, I think Justin Fields is a little more athletic and can make more plays than Daniel Jones. But, dude, they need those lines, man, to help any quarterback does. Man, so, man, you just better do your damn job, or else you're going to hear it for a long time. I just think it's hilarious how this guy wants to, rip the Giants because they're booing you. They have every right to boo you. You're playing like complete shit. You've not done it all year. The only win you got was when you had to come back against Arizona when you're down 21 points. And you know what? Daniel Jones was a big part of that comeback. Okay? And the other three losses, you got your ass whipped by Dallas. You got your ass whipped pretty good by the 49ers, and you got your ass whipped by Seattle. Now, I will say this. Those three teams that you lost to are pretty damn good football teams. Those are playoff teams, no doubt about it. So, but still, man, shut up and play. Let your game do the talking, not your mouth, your game. Right now, your game's not doing the talking. Only your mouth is. Just shut up and play. Protect your quarterback. I'm not even a Giants fan. I'm talking about the Giants, but still, I mean, I just find it hilarious how this guy wants to, or any athlete that just wants to, you know, belittle the fans like he did. It's an immature comment, and he apologized the next day. But to me, and I saw the apology. I thought it was half-assed. It was written down. Giants PR probably gave him a piece of paper. Remember the lines. Write it down. Just come on, keep the peace. Let's little damage control here. So I don't know. All right. Let's see. Did I read this comment already? Yes, I did. All right. Also, we got Sean Spencer. I have the Rams beating Philly. Philly will be tired from the nail biter versus Washington. It could be. And you're going on the other side of the country, too. You know, West Coast time. Yeah, and like I said, they haven't played their best football either. You know, they're lucky they got the team that they have. You know, the veterans out there playing well, but their defense is giving up a lot more points than they have last year. And the Rams have an offense that, you know, Pacheco and you know, Kyron Williams, and if Cooper Kupp comes back, you know, that offense can light it up. So they gotta play well. They gotta play a good game to win. Oh, and thank you, Scott. Mizzou plays LSU. That's a big game. You know, last week LSU lost to Ole Miss. You know, Mizzou's undefeated. It's a big game for both those teams. You know, if Missouri can beat LSU, man, that's a step in the right direction. You get that program, you know, being a legit top SEC team. Hey, you know, good for Missouri. They can pull this one off. So can't wait to watch that game. LSU, yep. And Taylor Swift. Oh, I thought we were going to avoid that one, but I guess not. With Taylor Swift at the Chiefs games, there are 12 men on the field. Oh, come on, Scott. She's not a woman. Okay. I mean, I'm sorry. She's not. Spirit talking. Come on, man. Taylor Swift. Okay, let's talk about it. I know football fans might not like what I'm about to say, but I like the fact that Taylor Swift's, you know, being present. Listen, it gets more eyes on the product. You know, the Sunday night game, the Chiefs and Jets, they drew like 28 million people to watch that game. Now, albeit you have New York media market, that helps. But 28 million? 28 million people watching that game? I mean, yeah, sure. You know, maybe a lot of football fans don't like that. I don't mind it. You know, because I like entertainment stuff. You know, I'm an entertainment guy. Why not? You know, get new fans to watch the NFL. Listen, you got to understand something. Like right now, the actors are still on strike, which means we don't have shows or new movies coming out. Well, you'll have new movies, but like pretty soon there won't be any more new movies and no TV shows right now. So, what a perfect opportunity for the NFL. And they know this. They're brilliant at this. You know, marketing, that's been the key for the NFL the last 15, 20 years. They're America's pastime now, not baseball, but football. And I love baseball, but let's face it, the NFL's America's pastime now. They know how to market. Why do you think they got that new Sunday ticket deal with YouTube? They went to streaming. Again, it's staying ahead of the curve. They know that Taylor Swift is one of the most popular musicians in the world. And Travis Kelce happens to date her. And good for him. So why not, if you're the NFL, take advantage of that? Why not? You know, get more viewers. That's the idea. Get more eyeballs watching the TV every Sunday. That's the key. You know, so I'm all for it. I'm all for it. All right. What else do we got here? Did I read that one? Yes, I did. Okay, because I wanted to hear what Sean has to say about this one. Yeah, those losses hurt at home. At home hurt. I completely agree with Magic's comments. We played flat for a quarter and a half, but the Bears had the blueprint to beat us. Okay. Yeah, and Sean, I'm a Laker fan, as you can see up there. Been a Laker fan since I was wearing diapers. It goes back to the Magic days, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar days. I mean, Showtime '80s. I've been a Laker fan all my life. Magic is a guy that loves to win. He has that passion. He learned from Dr. Jerry Buss. Win. He's been a winner all his life. And that's what made the Lakers so great. That's what makes Magic Johnson a great entrepreneur. With all the businesses he owns. Part ownership for the Dodgers. I'm a Dodger fan. Now, this man cares. And that's a good thing. If you're a Commanders fan, that's what you want. You want an ownership group that cares about winning. And that's fine. I don't mind the comments. Do I agree with them? Again, I'd have to watch the game maybe again to see if the Commanders, all the players were, focusing on the game. They're 100% into it. But, hey, I guess I could take Magic's words for it. He knows. He's been there. He's played in big moments in his career. He's played basketball, not football, but he knows what it's like. He knows what it takes for a franchise to, get better and better and get to that ultimate goal, which is to win a Super Bowl or any championship in that league. So, yeah, what better person to have on your team, in your corner, than Magic Johnson? Trust me, the guy knows how to market. He knows how to bring a winning culture to any franchise, not just in sports, but in businesses, Starbucks, other stuff that he's owned, that he's been part of. That's why they're successful, because he has a successful mindset. And, he's not afraid to, tell you like it is. I respect the hell out of that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a Laker fan, because he does tell you like it is. That's why I respect the hell out of Magic Johnson. I love the guy, and you can't ask for any more than that. But now it's up to the Commanders, the players, the coaches, to step it up. Show Magic Johnson, show Josh Harris, the team that, the guys that own this team, show them why they want to keep you around. That's the key. And, I think it's a positive. I definitely think it's positive. And it's good for this franchise because they need it. After the whole Daniel Snyder bullshit, that they had to go through the last 20 some odd years, this is refreshing. Now you just got to start to, perform on the field. Like I said earlier, these last two games you've had against the Bills and the Bears, you've lost by over 50 points combined. You got to protect home field. Make that a place where opponents are going to lose the majority of the time. Make them fear that 12th man, just like Seattle has. That's the key. Oh man, but good stuff, Sean Spencer. Thank you for commenting tonight. Scott Taylor where is Sailor Swift? I don't know where he is tonight, but I'm sure he's watching. So that was last night. Bears, Commanders. Then we got Sunday. We got game Saturday, college football. My Florida State team's back on the field. They had their bye week. They played Virginia Tech. 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific on ABC. Should be an interesting game. I do like Florida State in that one. Tomorrow's also the the Red River Shootout. Oklahoma, Texas, both undefeated. I think Texas will win that game, but it should be a good game. We got Michigan and Minnesota in prime time. Undefeated Maryland going up to Ohio State. Tua's brother plays for the Terrapins, quarterback for them. Big road test. They're Ohio State number 4. We'll see how they do. I believe they came off a bye week as well, after that big win against Notre Dame in South Bend, which I loved. Anytime that anybody beats Notre Dame, love it. Notre Dame, speaking of those clowns, they play at Louisville, who's playing very well as well. They're ranked. They're undefeated. So Notre Dame, 2 road games in a row. They'll probably beat Louisville, but hopefully the Cardinals can pull off the upset and make me a very happy guy. So, yeah, and by the way, I'm not going to hide it. I hate Notre Dame. And Rudy sucked. All right, that movie Rudy sucked. It sucked. And also, we got the baseball postseason, by the way. Sean Spencer, if you're watching, your Orioles begin their playoff push tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I think. They play the Texas Rangers. Should be a very good series. Looking forward to that one. My Dodgers open up with the Diamondbacks. That's going to be a very tough series for the Dodgers. Listen, Arizona's a good team. I said before the season, the Diamondbacks would make the playoffs. They have a good team. But Corbin Carroll, man, he is a stud. Their pitching's good with Gallen. Merrill Kelly's going to pitch tomorrow night. He'll be the starter for game 1. And they got a pretty good bullpen as well. So it's going to be a tough series for my Dodgers. I think we'll still win that series, but it could go 5. It could go to the distance. Andrew Faubert, thank you for tuning in. How you doing tonight, Andrew? By the way, great show tonight. I understand you had Harry the Greek and Mike Hughes talking some hockey. Good stuff. Great show, by the way, Andrew. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. I don't think Eagle fans travel well, so there better be 90% Ram fans in the stands. Oh, Scott, I don't even think there'll be 50% Rams fans. And don't be offended. The Chargers don't draw as well either. Last week they played the Raiders. It's probably like 60-40 Raider fans to Charger fans. So LA's just not the market, man. I'll never understand why the Rams left St. Louis. Well, I know why, but should have stayed in St. Louis. And Chargers should have stayed in San Diego, but they had to be in that LA market. So, and let's see, Andrew. How annoying is the Spear? Lots of laughs. I keep hearing the light from it pisses people off. You know what? I drove by the Spear a couple times this week, Andrew. I'll send some pictures. I'll DM you some pictures, man. It was during the day though, but I'm fine with it. I think it's pretty cool. I got to get there though. I'd love to see a show in there. U2 opened up for the Spear. Their opening concert was U2. Very good. LeBron James was there. A lot of celebrities were at that show. It's a cool looking thing, But again, I haven't been inside it yet. I want to. It should be very interesting. And if you've seen they're showing highlights of the YouTube concert, though, all the LED lights just goes all the way up, and it'll be weird to see a concert, depending on what concert it is, U2 or any pop concert, they'll probably have unique settings and unique background. So it'll be interesting to see. So, but yeah, I've driven by there twice. I'll DM you some pictures. Scott Taylor, just like Kenny Rogers' chicken on Seinfeld. The Eagles? Okay. I missed that place. Kenny Rogers' chicken. That was a good place. Kenny Rogers Roasters. I even remember the song. It's like Kenny Rogers Roasters. It's the wood that makes it good. So yeah, I don't. Do they still have those? Because it was rotisserie chicken. I love rotisserie chicken. It's good stuff. So yeah, any kind of chicken's good. Sean Spencer, that movie was amazing, Ben Cornett. Oh, you must be talking about Rudy. No, I thought it sucked. Well, for one, it was about Notre Dame. I mean, already it's pretty bad. But come on, there's a lot of better football movies. Come on, Sean, and that's fine. If you loved Rudy, that's great. You know. But they had a Hobbit play Rudy in that movie. Football movies. Remember the Titans is my favorite one. Any Given Sunday, Friday Night Lights, The Replacements, Gridiron Gang. I mean, those are football movies right there. Hell, I might get heat for saying this, but that movie about Kurt Warner was better than Rudy. Okay, you talk about a guy Kurt Warner, who tried out for several NFL teams, ended up, playing in the Arena League for the Iowa Barnstormers. He was working at a grocery store. Now that's inspirational. Making it all the way to the NFL, that's inspirational. Rudy, he had his one moment in the sun. Great, whatever. Oh yeah, The Program. Now there you go. The Program's a very good movie. James Caan, that was a good movie. Liked it. I love a lot of football movies. Like the one I've been wanting to watch for. I've seen it already, but the one I've been wanting to watch for a while, Invincible. With Mark Wahlberg. I gotta watch that one again. That's a classic. I want to talk about inspirational. Vinny Papelli, making it on the Philadelphia Eagles, his hometown team. Come on, Mark Wahlberg was great in that movie. Dude. That's inspirational right there. Love it. Yeah, but you dislike Notre Dame. I'm not hiding it. I shall tell the truth. Brian's Song is a classic. Yeah, that's a good one too. Brian Piccolo and Gale Sayers. Dude, I'm telling you. I love that movie as well. Those are good movies right there. And I want to see who the Facebook user is, if it'll let me. Blackie Lawless. Blackie, thanks for tuning in, bud. How you doing, my friend? That's good. Thank you for tuning in. But you're right, Brian's Song is a classic. Sean Spencer says, Rudy got carried off the damn field after being a walk-on. Okay. Cool story. I kid. No, it was a good movie. It was just, why couldn't it be about other schools in Notre Dame? Couldn't they have come up with like a fictional name, like anything but Notre Dame? Well, I guess you had to do it that way, but no, I kid. Sean Astin's a very good actor. Yes, he was a hobbit in Lord of the Rings, but he was also in Encino Man. That was a good movie. Classic, him and Pauly Shore. It's one of my favorite movies. But he's a good actor, and did a good job in that movie. But I still dislike Notre Dame. Ha 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 ha. Yes. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Yeah. Notre Dame. Go Louisville tomorrow night. That's all I gotta say. They're lucky they're not playing Florida State this year. We would beat them. I mean, what is it with Sam Hartman anyway? I mean, nice guy, good quarterback, but he's growing that hair out like a hippie, that beard. I mean, it's kind of looking like a rugged Uncle Jesse from Full House. I mean, come on, dude, get a haircut, especially if you're representing Notre Dame. Uh, no, but I kid. Marcus Freeman's doing a really good job there. That's a that's big shoes to fill, especially when you're taking over for Brian Kelly. Who's now at LSU. So Marcus Freeman so far solid. He's building a program there. That's what you got to do, especially with the NIL and stuff nowadays. The transfer portal. That's definitely going to helps any college team, but especially Notre Dame. They're an independent, and like I said, they're going to have to do some things. I don't know if they'll make the college football playoff this year because they already lost to Ohio State. Anytime you're an independent, it's tougher to make that college football playoff because you're not in a conference. You don't play for a conference championship, which definitely helps you get into the college football playoffs. So they can't have any mistakes, and they already lost to Ohio State, which is a good team, mind you. But they're gonna have to win out if they're gonna have any chance. They still got to play USC. That's a tough game. Are they capable of winning that game? Yeah, because USC's defense isn't that great. They score a lot of points. Caleb Williams is fun to watch, but USC does not have a good defense. I mean, they let Colorado come back in that game last week. So we'll see. Sean Spencer says his name was Sean, and he spelled it the way I spell my name. I love the actor that played the janitor. He had a show called Rock in the 90s. Yes, you must be talking about one Charles S. Dutton, who Rock, you mentioned Rock. Thank you. That show, I secretly watched that show. I remember it came on every Sunday nights on Fox. Dude, that was a great show. Great actor, man. He had his wife living. I think he had his brother living with him. I think, right? If I remember correctly, that was a good show. That was a very good show, man. Underrated. I'm surprised it wasn't a bigger show than it was. It should have been. I liked Rob. Good show. Sean says if Notre Dame goes undefeated the rest of the way, they can get in. Plus, the loss to Ohio State was on the last play of the game. Yeah, it was. It was. Close game, and I think if they played the best of 5 or a best of 3, Notre Dame would win the next 2 or the next 3. So it was a very good game. And again, Notre Dame, they have a chance to run the table. Again, they play Louisville on the road. You already beat Duke. That was a ranked team. Louisville's a ranked team as well. And I think they'll win against Louisville because I think they're more talented, better team. Louisville hasn't really been tested yet. And then you got USC at home. So, and I said USC's defense is not great. They have to rely on their offense to score like 30, 40 points a game. And Notre Dame has a defense. They can play. So USC, I could see that as a win for Notre Dame. I really could, Sean, because again, USC is not good defensively, good offensively, but defensively, nah. Sam Hartman could probably tear that defense up, especially the run game. That running game can beat up USC. All right. Next season, they will have a better shot at the playoffs. USC has a horrible defense. That's Blackie. Thanks tuning in again. Thanks for the comment. Yeah, I agree. I think they probably still do have a shot at the playoffs, but again, when you're an independent like Notre Dame is, you kind of have to go perfect, because again, you're not playing for a conference championship. Your schedule, it depends on who you play and how good those teams are that year. This year, Louisville looks pretty good. USC looks good. So they have their chances. And the team that they played earlier, Ohio State, even though they lost, that was a good loss. So, yeah, they definitely have a chance. Sean says secretly. Oh, about Rock? No, I watched it. if I told you I secretly watched it, I wouldn't say it. I wouldn't say it on this show. It wouldn't be a secret. So it was good, man. Fox had some great shows, man. In the '90s. I mean, like Martin and Living Color. Hell, I'm remember that show Get a Life with Chris Elliott? Dude, that was a great show. That was a hilarious show. Loved it. A lot of good shows. Simpsons, Married with Children's like my favorite show of all time. Al Bundy's kind of a hero of mine. He sacrificed his football dreams to put shoes on women's feet. If that's not a hero, then I don't know what a hero. Then there shouldn't be a hero. Al Bundy is the man. Cheers to Al Bundy. Yeah. What else do we got? Hell, do people ever watch the show Parker Lewis? Can't Lose? Remember that show? Synchronized Watches. Yeah, that was a great show. And yes, I'm going to lay it all out for everybody. I did watch Beverly Hills 90210. I watched Melrose Place. I have no shame. Melrose Place is a great show. Kids out there, if you don't know what that is, if you have Paramount Plus, do yourselves a favor. Now, as long as you're 14 years or older, go watch Melrose Place. Great storylines, great characters. It was a guilty pleasure of mine when I was growing up. Melrose Place. By the way, Sydney was my favorite character on that show. Loved that redhead. She's great. All right. Sean Spencer, why did you have to secretly watch it? Is it Rock? No. I still watched it. Not secretly. Now, Melrose Place, I did a little bit. Beverly Hills 90210. Hey, it's a great show, man. Come on. I was in love with, Kelly Taylor. I mean, there's two Kellys I loved. Or actually, make it three. Kelly Kapowski, who, by the way, shout out to Nick Rosario. I'm still jealous that you got to meet her. God, I'm so jealous of that guy. Now, Kelly Taylor, Jenny Garth, and Kelly Bundy, Married with Children. Dude, it was a Kelly fest back in the 90s. Man, incredible. Let's see. Blackie says, Fireman Bill and Homie the Clown were funny. Yeah, they were. Loved Fireman Bill. Homie the Clown. Oh, dude. Yeah, Homie don't play that. And Men on Film. Yeah. 3 snaps in a Z formation. Yeah. What about Homeboy Shopping Network? Love Homeboy Shopping Network, right? It's classic. Yeah, Living Colors was a great show. I'll tell you what. I like that just as much as Saturday Night Live. I think it was actually better. Just because the acting was so good. It was so different. It was one of those shows, first comedy sketch shows, with African Americans, but it was great. They're so good. Like, Keenen Ivory Wayans. Oh, damn it. Jim Carrey, Tommy Davidson. I mean, they were great actors, man. Damon Wayans. I love Damon Wayans. Like, dude, so it was a great show. I loved it. I mean, hell, Jennifer Lopez was one of the Fly Girls on that show. So, dude, Living Color, that was my jam back in the day. Sean Spencer, I watched Melrose Place religiously. Courtney Thorne Smith is my girl. Oh, dude. You know what, Sean? We need to talk about this. See, I need to talk to you about Melrose Place because finally, there's somebody that likes that show just like I do. No, I was a Sydney girl. I mean, Sydney was like the ultimate troublemaker, Jane's sister. You know, I mean, she did it with her husband, Dr. Michael Mancini. She did it with Jake. I mean, dude, she got around, but man, she just, gosh, she's so evil, but so freaking hot. Courtney Thorne Smith was great though too. You know, Allison, good old Billy and Allison, and you know, she talk about, see, Sydney was getting around, but so was Allison. Remember, she went out with Jake, you know, Billy. So you know, although I will say, like, I think after season 4, it kind of died out for me. The first 4 seasons were great. Um, yeah, I got to go back and watch these shows again. You know, I used to do it like almost every year, but lately I haven't done that. I need to go back. I think it's long overdue. We need to. We'll talk. Excuse me. We'll talk about Melrose Place sometime, Sean. I love that you watched that show as well. So good stuff. And Mr. Blackie says, great show all around. It was. In Living Color? Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, God, Jim Carrey became a megastar. That's where he got to start, in Living Color. You know? Just that was a show that propelled a lot of great actors. Got them to that next level, you know. Just a great show. You're right. Great show all around. They just don't do them like that anymore, you know, especially today, you know, with all these restrictions, these, you know, oh, you can't say this or you can't say that. Oh, why did you say that? No, 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 don't show that. You know, that's just the way society is. And, you know, for better or worse, I mean, it is what it is. I got my opinions on it. Um, you know, I'm sure you got yours. But I do miss those days where, you know, you had the freedom to, you know, express yourself. Um, you know, like the movies too. Like, would they ever make movies like American Pie nowadays? Not really, you know. So yeah, I completely understand, man. The '90s, '80s, '90s, early 2000s, that was incredible. Those were the days. Those were the days. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, man. But I want to thank everybody who commented tonight: Sean Spencer, Scott Thaler, Andrew Faubert, Blackie Lawless, anybody else who was watching. I greatly appreciate you tuning in tonight. This was a fun show. We're back to doing Have At It. I know the last few times we've done this, it was a What's Buck with Ben remix, and that's great too. But I love to open up about stuff other than football, you know, and sports entertainment. This is what I want to talk about too, is shows like shows today or like shows from the past. You know, that's my jam right there. Let's talk about that. You know, like we said, Melrose Place, dude. I made it. Sean Spencer, me and you, we gotta do like a podcast on Melrose Place. That was a great show, by the way. Yes, and I do listen to. I've listened to a Melrose Place podcast. It's pretty good. See, there's a community out there for us, you know. So, yeah, definitely. And thank you for being a part of my community, man. Right here on In the Ben Zone, Have At It. And like I said, guys, like and share this show. My social media handles, if you can see them, they're way up there above the Caesar Palace building. I'm on X at BennyBoy702. That's formerly Twitter. And you're watching this on YouTube as well, Ben Cornett 9015. Facebook on the Ben Zone, but if you're not part of the Ben Zone, I do share it on my own page, so you can see it there. And if you're an Instagrammer, Ben702 forever. So please like, share, and follow. And we'll read one more comment. Sean Spencer says, get Scott Thaler on and talk about The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Yeah, I don't mind. You know, I don't watch him, but we can still talk about it. now you got the Golden Bachelorette or the Bachelor, the beer talking, Golden Bachelor. So, hey, there's a show for those 50-year-olds. Wow, man. Yeah, we should talk about the Bachelor. I'm still a bachelor. I'm 43, but I'm still a bachelor. You know, maybe one day my bachelorette will be out there somewhere out there. So, all right, everybody. Man, what a good show tonight, man. I like this show. I like doing shows like this. Again, that's what Have At It is. Have at it about any topic you want. Sports, TV, any form of entertainment, whatever. This is the show to do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for me to step out. And we will be back again next Friday night for another episode of Have At It. Everybody have a great weekend, and I will see you next time right here on Have At It. Take care.